The following is a production of the Department of Broadcasting at Western Illinois University.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. News 3 starts now.
This morning, WIU President Jack Thomas responds to questions about the university board's decision last week to raise tuition for incoming students.
And we will also talk to a senior director from the American Cancer Society on what the WIU campus is doing to help find a cure for the disease.
And the weather has been so perfect lately, but before we head to a textbook Easter weekend, a little bit of cold we got to deal with first. And with Aaron Schock out, another familiar face wants to be in Good Morning Macomb.
And I'm Emily Manley. Former Congressman Aaron Schock formally resigned from office yesterday, not soon after Illinois Senator Darlin LaWood threw his name in the hat. LaHood announces his candidacy in Macomb on Tuesday afternoon in front of the McDonough County Courthouse. His stop in Macomb was the final location for his campaign. He's made stops across the region for the vacant congressman's seat representing the 18th district.
Schock is currently under investigation because of his spending and mileage reimbursement claims. The Washington Post reported back in February that Schock had remodeled his office after the popular TV show Downton Abbey. The designer of that office told a reporter she did the work for free. However, accepting gifts over $50 is a house ethics violation. LaHood announced his candidacy Monday at the Lariat in Peoria and has been making campaign stops throughout west central Illinois.
The closure of East Village is leaving residents looking for other places to live. Many of them met Monday night to voice their concerns. News 3 Ryan Collins has the story.
East Village will close following the end of the spring 2015 semester. East Village has housed married and graduate students as well as students with families since 1964. A press release from WIU says that the complex was updated in 2003 when they took the 72 apartments and downsized them to 36 two-bedroom apartments. University Housing and Dining Services Director Joe Roselieb said in 2008 they assessed all the facilities around campus and found that the East Village would cost around $4 million to get back to its original condition. In 2014, they did another assessment on the facility, only focusing on the main problems. This assessment came back at around $1.7 million. This money would go towards fixing all the original piping, exterior balconies, exterior windows and doors, plumbing systems, bathrooms, and HVAC system. Roselieb says much of the cost would have been passed on to the students.
Translated to a 20 to 25% increase in rates, which then drops another domino into the mix where now we're starting to outprice ourselves in terms of the other markets off campus.
16 out of the 36 East Village apartments are currently occupied. Following the closure, the university plans to begin the decommissioning process and demolition. This would cost an estimated $400,000. They have no date scheduled as of yet for demolition and say it is based upon funding. For News 3, I'm Ryan Collins.
Students who have questions or concerns are asked to call Joe Roselieb at 309-298-3320.
10 people are facing drug-related charges after raids across town uncovered more than 4 pounds of cannabis. Police and investigators say they found cannabis, prescription medication, cocaine, and drug paraphernalia at 4 different locations throughout Macomb. Charges for the 10 suspects arrested range from possession of a controlled substance to intent to distribute, and even charges relating to cocaine. Macomb police say they were assisted in the investigation by several agencies, including the West Central Illinois State Police Drug Task Force. Full disclosure, Brody Waddell was among those arrested. He is a former anchor of News 3. He worked on our newscast in the fall of 2014 and is no longer involved.
The search for a new city administrator will begin earlier than expected. City officials will search to replace Dean Torsten starting July 13th. Torsten's seat will become vacant at the end of the year. Mayor Mike Inman will offer the position to the selected candidate by late November. Torsten's replacement would take office January 2nd. The Personnel Committee will narrow the list of candidates down to 10, then conduct background and reference checks. Dave?
Yes, and City Council will then select 5 semifinalists from those 10. City aldermen, along with Mayor Inman, have created a tentative schedule. July 17th will start the advertising process throughout the Midwest. A deadline for all applications are due by August 31st. The Personnel Committee, City Clerk, and Mayor will conduct background checks and phone interviews on the top 10 selected from September 1st through October 2nd. City Council will pick 5 finalists to visit and tour Macomb with their families. Also, during this time, there will be the final interviews. On November 23rd, the mayor will appoint a new city administrator to the council. The estimated total cost in searching for a new city administrator, if you're wondering, $9,000. This includes traveling, motels, foods, and advertising expenses. The Macomb City Administrator leads 6 department heads, 96 full-time employees, and manages an estimated budget of over $32 million. Interested candidates should contact Melanie Falk at the City Clerk's office with the number on your screen.
WIU Board of Trustees are preparing for the worst with Governor Bruce Rauner's pending bill to cut spending in higher education. The bill would cut $400 million in the state spending on higher education and nearly $17 million to Western's budget. Western Illinois President Jack Thomas explained Western's plan to stay competitive.
Students entering WIU in the fall of 2015 will see a nominal increase, but their costs are locked in for the next 4 years. And this is something that we need to continually to say to our students as well as parents and stakeholders. And this is something that we pride ourselves on.
That 4-year lock-in tuition is Western's big selling point when recruiting students. Luckily, student enrollment for the fall 2015 is up 9.5% from last year and is Western's biggest jump in 4 years.
And OPS is hosting Coffee with a Cop today in the University Union Food Court from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. Macomb Police will also be in attendance. There will be no specific agenda in place, but all community members are invited to ask questions and voice their concerns.
Tonight, as Tri Sigma sorority is holding a male pageant in Macomb for charity. This event will be held in the University Union Heritage Room at 6 p.m. The event features contestants from both Western Illinois University fraternities and athletic teams. Tickets are $5 and all proceeds will go towards play therapy for terminally ill children.
Prestige Communications is currently experiencing a power issue and has been off the air since 4 p.m. yesterday. Operations Director Kim Williams says she thinks that 5 stations are involved in the outage and they are working with Ameren to better the situation. Williams says she wants to apologize to the audience for the outage and they are hoping to be back soon.
Local youth are stirring up some science. Students in elementary through high school throughout the region brought projects to the event. The projects covered a wide variety of topics and were left on display throughout the afternoon. 24 of these regional students will be moving on to the State Science Fair, which will be held at SIU Carbondale later this year.
With spring weather comes spring cleaning, and starting tomorrow, Macomb residents have a place to dump their unwanted yard waste. The yard waste site opens on Tower Road tomorrow, April 2nd. The site will be open Thursday through Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. With pending spring storms on the horizon, the City of Macomb advises residents to use the early warm weather and take care of those loose branches now.
Some local filmmakers are kicking off a campaign to develop a new feature production. WIU art professor Bruce Walters is writing and directing a new film about life in the early 1920s. He's launching a crowdfunding campaign today, and the page Indiegogo.com looks to raise $15,000 in the next month for the project. Walters joined a national award-winning producer to begin the story and viewpoints on the Roaring '20s to a young audience.
Cancer, one of the deadliest diseases around, but how close are we to finding a cure?
That's right. I will sit down with Brenda Miller from the American Cancer Society to tell us what the campus and the community are planning to support the patients.
And it's a mild start to our morning today. In fact, our morning low temperatures aren't very far from our normal high temperatures. A look outside at the courthouse square does show that bright sunshine. We are at 47 degrees with calm winds at this hour. Those winds are going to increase throughout the afternoon, trying to win that warm southerly wind, gusting at times upwards of 20 miles per hour. Temperatures across the region of the tri-states were in the upper 40s to the lower 50s. They'll continue to rise throughout the day today, and with the warm temperature, so does the risk of thunderstorms. We'll have a full forecast in a couple minutes.
Sometimes all it takes to be a dad is remembering how to be a kid again. Take time to be a dad today.
I think NEWS3 is great. It's all one common goal. Everybody's trying to be #1. Last year we were #1 in the nation. We beat out Florida and Oklahoma. I get to work with so many professionals. It's a really great experience, and they're always there to help, and it's just all around fun. Jasmine Crichton really does make it a real life experience that most schools maybe not. They don't offer that.
Now from Macomb in high definition, you're watching Sinead Glasgow, Emily Manley, Storm Team 3's forecast with Nicholas Stewart, and sports with Tyler Eddy. Good Morning Macomb continues.
The American Cancer Society is the largest funder of cancer research, researching more than 150 types of cancer. Joining me from the American Cancer Society this morning is Brenda Miller. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I know it's gorgeous outside and you get to come in here and talk to me. Can you talk about what the American Cancer Society funds, what they do to get those funds for the research?
Oh, sure. Actually, the funding to the American Cancer Society comes from millions of donors throughout the United States who support with gifts through the mail or even through many of our events that we do.
And now that we heard about fundraising, there's a Dr. Shannon Scott, and she says how important fundraising is. Let's hear from her.
I say to them that please come and join my team, walk with us, help fundraise. But for some people in these economic times, that can also be challenging. You don't always have spare money that you can donate, but volunteer at these events.
Besides cancer research, what else does the American Cancer Society do for patients?
Oh, thanks for asking. Actually, we do a lot for cancer patients and their caregivers. We have information that's available to them through our hotline. That's 800-227-2345, where people can call 24 hours a day to get information about their cancer diagnosis, treatment options, and then things that we can do for them here in the community, like provide rides to their treatments. And then we also provide things like free wigs and lots of emotional support for the cancer patients and their caregivers.
Now, to do all that, we have to have events, and Western Illinois University is preparing to help cancer research by hosting their own Relay for Life. I know there's tons of events that you guys have planned for that evening. Can you kind of explain what goes on that April 10th?
Sure. So it's Relay for Life is a really inspiring way to get the community united to support our cancer survivors, as well as to remember those who have lost their battle against cancer. So starting at 4 o'clock, we will kick off the Relay for Life, and we will honor our cancer survivors. So if you're a cancer survivor, please come out and join us at 4 o'clock. And then throughout the evening until 10 o'clock, we have lots of things planned. We have yoga, the YMCA circus is coming, Elvis is going to make an appearance. So if you haven't already registered to be a team or to come to the event, go to relayforlife.org.
Thank you, Brenda. It sounds like a great event to be involved in. And thank you for joining me here this morning. I had a fantastic time, especially learning about the event, because it can be so moving with everything that goes on and helping those patients that have cancer. Don't forget that the event will take place on April 10th outside the University Union. From 4 p.m. to 10 p.m., come and join the activities and donate to cancer research. For more information, as Brenda said, you can visit www.relayforlife.org, and from there you can type in the search bar Macomb and it will take you to where this one is outside the University Union. Thank you, Brenda, again for joining me this morning.
You're welcome.
Make sure you take a step outside today because we could see some rain in tomorrow's forecast. Storm Teams 3 Nicholas Stewart will be in next with a look into your 5-day forecast.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours.
Dr. King, what's your next move? In March from Selma to Montgomery.
Selma is loud for every man, woman, and child.
We will not wait any longer.
In front of a crowd.
Mine eyes have seen the glory. Glory, glory, hallelujah.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed our own.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Nick, I took a step outside this morning and it's awesome. Please tell me that that's going to last throughout the weekend.
Yeah, it's because okay, I'm not going to lie. It's April Fool's Day, but there is a chance for some snow showers. I'm not kidding about that. Yes, it is unfortunately. But we're going to be in the upper 70s today, so beautiful conditions today. Taking a look outside right now at this hour, you can see this bright sunshine filling in the courthouse square. We are at 47 degrees with those calm winds. Those winds will start building in throughout the afternoon today. Take a look at your current satellite radar composite. You can see we are looking at mostly clear conditions across the entire Midwest. No returns at all, and very few clouds. The only cloud cover is showing up in southern Missouri at this hour. Temperatures, we are very warm across the Midwest. Again, most of these temperatures in the morning lows are actually what we'd be normally seeing as our high temperatures. Beautiful conditions out there across the tri-state region. Again, we'll be building up into the 70s as we go on through the day today. It'll be basically a perfectly, perfect day, almost like a resemblance to our summer times that we're so far from right now. The current surface map does show, again, those clear conditions building across our entire region. We're going to be focusing across areas to our west. That's when our next weather maker is going to show up. That'll continue as we look into tonight. That's when it starts making its presence. Cold front starting to move through portions of eastern Nebraska, pushing into western Iowa. That's going to bring some rain showers, potentially some severe weather as well across those areas, and that'll move towards us. The Storm Prediction Center outlook, this yellow area here, this is your slight risk for severe thunderstorms. Those storms will weaken as they move towards Illinois, but we could be looking at some showers and thunderstorms as we go into tomorrow morning. Futurecast does show that line build up this afternoon across Nebraska before slowly falling apart throughout the evening hours as it moves towards us. For tomorrow, more of the same, a little bit more cloud cover, a little bit more showers and thunderstorms as well. The cold front will move through, they'll knock our temperatures down just a little bit. We'll still be decently mild, however, so it'll be a pretty good day out there. For today, again, 77 beautiful degrees. The southerly winds will start building in through the afternoon hours. Tonight, we'll get down to about 56 degrees. Rain showers move in after about 1 a.m. Those temperatures are going to drop, take a big hit on Friday. We'll drop down to about 49 degrees, but look at that low temperature of 30. That's where a snow chance might come. And again, nothing accumulating, just a snow shower here or there. Temperatures start to rebound by the weekend, though. So
it's not too bad. I like my Easter forecast.
And the Easter forecast, beautiful sunny conditions, 64 degrees. So it should be pretty good out there.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Tyler, do you have some good news in sports too? No snow, I hope.
No, but I do have lots of baseball.
Okay, I like
and
baseball.
There's a game today even, and we'll get to that in just a minute. Straight ahead in sports, the Western Illinois track and field team impressed in their first outdoor meet of the season. I'll have details. And the Leatherneck baseball team is gearing up for non-conference action this afternoon. All that and more is coming up on the other side of the break.
Today, 1 out of every 4 American kids is Hispanic. That means many of the future doctors who will care for us, the engineers who will build our cities, the scientists and entrepreneurs of our country can be your kids. We all know how hard it is for you to send them to college. This is why we want you to know you are not alone. And every day more people support you to make it happen. Many support you. And the Hispanic Scholarship Fund helps you prepare, plan, and pay for your kids' college education. HSF.net.
What did you want to be when you grew up? Now, how do you make it happen? Think purple, think success, think Western Illinois University.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Good morning, Western Illinois. Today is April Fool's Day, and the Western Illinois baseball team hopes to play a few tricks on the Iowa Hawkeyes when they play them today at 3 p.m. at Alfred D. Boyer Stadium. Last time out for the Purple and Gold, they took 2 out of 3 games against conference rival North Dakota State. In Game 3, the Leathernecks battled back to tie the game twice, but a 5-run ninth for the Bison proved to be too much. The Leathernecks come into today's game against Iowa with a 7-15 record, while the Hawkeyes come into Macomb after a 9-2 win over Grandview yesterday. The Hawkeyes are led by Big Ten Conference Player of the Week Eric Toole, who leads Iowa's offense with a .350+ batting average this season. And he may or may not get the chance today against Iowa, but Tyler Owings could make history this afternoon if he can pick up his 10th career save. With the save, Owings would break former Leatherneck Brian Loconsol's record at Western Illinois. NEWS3 had a chance to sit down with Owings after he tied the record Sunday and got his thoughts on what it means to him.
It feels pretty good. It's awesome to get a win and also to get the save, and tying the record was just another bonus. Just go in there and start throwing strikes and be competitive with each pitch, and eventually it just happens. Yes, there'll be definitely more to come. We're starting to play really well as a team, as an offense and as a defense, so everything's starting to click right now. It's pretty awesome to see.
And moving to the other diamond, the Western Illinois softball team had a very impressive weekend series against conference rival IPFW. The ladies in purple were back in action yesterday in Peoria to take on the Bradley Braves. The team got off to a hot start, leading 8-3 after 4 innings, but errors plagued the Leathernecks late, and the Bradley Braves rallied to come back and defeat the Leathernecks 10-8. Casey Hart was tabbed with the loss after giving up 6 runs off 3 earned, 6 hits, in just 2 1/3 innings pitched. Tegan Walsh led the Leatherneck offense, going 3 for 4, including a double and a triple with 4 RBIs. The Leathernecks will be back in action tomorrow against the Iowa Hawkeyes. First pitch is scheduled for 6:30 p.m. in Iowa City. And the Western Illinois football team has been busy after starting spring practices last week. After 2 days off, the men in purple took to the practice field yesterday morning for their 4th practice of the spring. 3 different times throughout practice, the team worked on 11-on-11 drills and continued to implement schemes on both sides of the ball. The Leathernecks have the day off today, but they will resume practice tomorrow at 7:45. Saturday's practice start time has been moved up an hour to 8:45 a.m., so if you're planning on making it out to Hanson Field, make note of that change. There are 11 practices left before the Bruce Craddock Memorial Spring Game on April 24th. And with temperatures barely above freezing, the Western Illinois track and field team warmed things up in Carbondale, Illinois. The team captured 13 top 5 finishes and compiled 4 new personal records at the Bill Cornell Spring Classic. The meet signified the start of WIU's start to the outdoor season. Despite the cold weather, Aaliyah White was able to snag a first-place finish in the 400 hurdles to lead the women. Sierra Woods and Alyssa Johnson set new personal bests in their individual events, finishing 5th. Josh Thomas led the men by turning a second-place finish in the 110 hurdles while finishing 3rd in the 400 hurdles. Thomas shattered his 2 personal bests in each event by more than 2 seconds. And as the calendar flips to April, baseball fans everywhere are counting down the days until opening day, or night in some cases. The Cubs and Cardinals will bring in the new season Sunday night at Wrigley Field on ESPN. It's the first time the Cardinals and Cubs have played each other in a season opener in 15 years, which was a 7-1 win for the Cardinals at Busch Stadium. A lot of storylines coming into this one, beginning with questions on whether or not the game should be played at Wrigley because of ongoing renovations. The Cubs have been under scrutiny for their decision to send down their #1 prospect, Chris Bryant, who hit a Major League leading 9 home runs in spring training. A positive for the Cubbies is that ace pitcher John Lester will be ready for opening day, according to reports, and Lester will take the mound against Cardinals ace Adam Wainwright at 6 p.m. on Sunday. So, guys, a lot of baseball, warm weather, gotta love it.
Good stuff, Tyler. Opening day around the corner.
That's
Thanks.
Right.
And don't go anywhere. Your final look at weather is coming up next.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Enroll, we say. We want you to be okay. Enroll, we say. Take care, people, for goodness sake.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today I'm just an aluminum can, but one day I could be a stadium.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
This job looks perfect. It says you need a high school diploma. You've got one of those, right?
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
I got that.
Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
Used to call me the buttered biscuit. Back then, I was a sex expert. I know about birth control, too.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Stories. They happen everywhere. At NEWS3, we go the distance and tell them firsthand. Across the region.
The tornado tore through a neighborhood in Washington, Illinois.
Across the state.
Here at the state capitol in Springfield for the gubernatorial race.
Across generations.
We have a lot of people that are very dedicated, who are all volunteers.
The stories that inform us, the stories that move us, the stories that matter from a fresh perspective.
Let's take a look one more time at today's high temperature, 77 beautiful degrees. Again, those southerly winds blowing from 15, gusting upwards at 20 miles per hour at times, transferring that very warm southerly air into our region. Also been dealing with the fire threat, so if you're going to be outside, if you're burning anything, do not do that at all. Actually, make sure that it's under control. For tonight, showers late after 1 a.m., We'll get down to about 56 degrees. Again, those southerly winds at 15 miles per hour. 5-day forecast shows that temperatures dropping into the weekend. Only 49 degrees is the high. Again, those temperatures dropping below freezing makes a chance of snow as well. So Easter Sunday, a little bit warmer as well. So
I cannot wait that it's actually going to be warm after we get past the next 2 days. Good. Thanks, Nick.
All right, well, that does it for us this morning on Good Morning Macomb. We'll stay on top of your news overnight and bring you the latest updates on our Facebook page and again tomorrow at Live at 4.
Have a good morning, Macomb.